chapter 16. We started with the number 6 was the verse, the Euphrates dried up to prepare for battle. Dried is your blank. And out of that came unclean spirits. So unclean spirits like frogs. Maybe that's why people think frogs are unclean and they don't want to hold them and stuff because of this. I don't know. I like frogs. I mean, stuffed ones. Kings of the earth assembled with reminders for God's people down below, with reminders for God's people. He is coming like a thief, unexpected, quickly. You know, sometimes when we hear the Bible says Jesus is coming soon, we say, yeah, but it's been already 2,200 years plus. No, 2020, whatever. Over 2,000 years plus. What is quickly? It doesn't necessarily mean soon. It means once the process starts, it will be quick. He comes quickly, not soon, but quick. It happens. Stay awake and be blessed by being prepared and keep our garments on. Live holy lives. That's what garments always seem to refer to in the Bible. Yes. I can't hear you at all. I actually can't even. With reminders, sorry, yes. With reminders for God's people. All right, that's okay. Number 7. Number 7 is on the other side. This is actually verse 7 or number 7. I can't remember. Oh, yeah, it was the 7 final judgments, right? Okay. Let me read those verses. These now, remember, each of these judgments affected a certain area, like it was the rivers, the air, the streams. I can't find my note. There we go. These were the 7 things affected. The earth, the sea, rivers, and springs were 2 and 3. 4 was the sun. 5 was the throne of the beast. And 6 was the Euphrates, which we just did. 7 is the air. The air. It is done. It is done. Let me read the verses here, verses 17 through 21. The 7th angel poured out his bowl into the air, and a loud voice came out of the temple from the throne, saying, "It is done." And there were flashes of lightning, rumblings, peals of thunder, and a great earthquake, such as there had never been since man was on the earth. So great was that earthquake. The great city was split into 3 parts, and the cities of the nations fell. And God remembered Babylon the Great, to make her drain the cup of the wine of the fury of his wrath. And every island fled away, and no mountains were to be found. And great hailstones, about 100 pounds each, fell from heaven on people. And they cursed God for the plague of the hail, because the plague was so severe. So the reason this is the ultimate worst judgment is Satan is called the prince of the power of the air. And here's the final judgment against him. Now his judgment comes. Some of us are going finally, but it is final, and it's the worst of all. Even Satan's authority as, quote, prince of the power of the air is subject to the King of Kings. Amen. He can't even call himself the king of the power of the air. He has to call himself the prince because he's subject to the King of Kings. So your 2 words there are prince and King of Kings. Satan's entire system that he has set up here is about to be judged by the Lord. The King of Kings will judge the prince of the power of the air. His religious system in 17, which we'll do next, he'll see the judgment of the harlot, which we'll see what all that means. His political economic system, that's when it says Babylon. Babylon is referring to the world's political and economic systems, especially as they try to use their authority and power to come against God, to think they can replace God with their own systems. And his military system, we'll see in chapter 19, what is often referred to as the Battle of Armageddon. The one place it's not referred to as that is in the Bible. So his system is about to be judged. He has raised all of these up to have power in these last days, this tribulation time. And now God is going to show it was very short-lived. And he will show who's the real authority. Flashes of lightning, rumblings, peals of thunder, a great earthquake like never before on earth. Jerusalem is split into 3 parts. That's the great city. The cities of the nations fall. The islands disappear. That happened during the tsunami. Some islands that had existed disappear. Just to show you that they can just disappear. Well, God could make them disappear anyway. And mountains are destroyed, so you can't find a mountain. Great hailstones, 100 pounds each, that would be much bigger and heavier than bowling ball. Does anyone bowl? Do you know the weight of the ball you use? 16? Wow, I'm impressed. 16 pounds. I'm doing a little multiplication in my head. Yeah, that's way less than 100. It takes you have to pick up 6 of those. 6 bowling balls. So the hailstones are either really dense or they're really big and heavy. Wow. The punishment fits the crime again. Those who curse God are about to be stoned with hailstones. As what? As usual, sinful men blame God for the very things their own sin has brought upon them. And they've been told it will bring that upon them. Remember, we read that Romans passage last week, Romans, the end of chapter 1. It says the people who knew these things were wrong and not only did them and knew that they would be punished. It says that. Men knew it was wrong, knew they faced God's wrath and punishment for it, and still they did it and encouraged other people to do it. It isn't ignorance, it's defiance. It's little kids who say, "You're not the boss of me," and think that somehow they can do that. Oh, kids still say that, right? So they blame God for what they've brought upon themselves. Let's learn a lesson from this. Don't blame God when we suffer the consequences of our own sinful choices. Don't blame God when we suffer the consequences of our own sinful choices. It's built into the universe. What you sow, you reap. Yes, Jenny. I know, isn't it funny that people blame God as they say he doesn't exist? Yeah, it doesn't make sense. He does. Or they curse God because he doesn't exist. Then why do you bother cursing him? All right, that's chapter 16. So let's go on. I hope you all took both the handouts to chapter 17. These 3 chapters, remember it was 16, 17, and 18 that are going to see, I think it was 16 through 18. Oh, no, 17 or 18 are a new little section here. Susie, the papers are both up here. Oh, now you're on the video. So was Jenny. And this is the ladies' summer schedule up here. All right, chapter 17. Now John describes the Lamb's step-by-step victory over the beast and his kingdom. As we've heard about the beast, chapter 17 says it right. It's the first page of 17.